Hey, Ross here with TrueCut CNC, and in this video I'm going to talk about setting up a job in BobCAD CAM with nesting. So shortly we'll be including the nesting and CAM version of BobCAD with our machines. So here's how you do it. Let's start by drawing a part, and we'll use the shape library. I'm going to draw this one right here. We'll make that 2 is the height, so we'll go 8 inches high. We'll go 4 inches wide, and we'll make the width of that's 4. We'll make that 0.5, and that looks pretty good. So we'll set that there. Now let's translate that over. Okay, good. And now we'll create another part, say this one here, and we'll go 2 is the height, so we'll go 5 by 5, and we'll make that ring 1 inch wide, like that. And same thing, we'll translate that over. Like that. Okay, so now we have 2 parts. So first we'll nest this one. So to nest these parts, the first thing you're going to do is go to the cam tree right here and go up here and right click and say new job. We're gonna create a nesting job. So select nesting, make sure your machine is selected, and we select the nesting wizard. Now the first thing we need to do is select geometry, or we can load from files. So we're just going to select geometry. We're going to select the first part and hit OK, or hit the space key. And this is what we get. We get our first part. So the tabs here, we don't have to deal with all these tabs. So part geometry is this screen right here. Part parameters is where we select the number of parts. So let's say we're going to do 50 parts, and that's all we need to enter. Sheet parameters is the next one, and this is where we define our sheet size right here, length and width, and quantity of sheets. And this right here, the nesting corner, lower left is where we always start. That would start the nest right here, upper right here, so on and so forth. Fill sheet, I always like to fill it horizontally. So what that's going to do, it's going to fill it like this. It's going to start from the left and work its way to the right. If I selected vertical, it would start from the bottom and work its way up. I like horizontal. The next tab is nesting parameters, and the only thing we need to change here is the bridge distance. We're going to say 0.1, and that's the distance between the parts. And then the next tab is going to be the tool, which is plasma tool. We hit the tool crib, we hit add from tool library, and these are all your installed tools. So we'll select that one, hit OK again, and we have our tool right there. Okay, the next tab, the next one we're going to hit is leads. So we go to our leads, and the blend is probably the easiest lead. Although on a part like this, well, I'll show you both. So let's do a blend first. So a blend is going to be a line and an arc, similar to this. There's your line, there's your arc. So we'll set the lead out the same as the lead in, and we're good. So that's all we need to do. We don't need to worry about anything else here. Now we hit compute, and it goes ahead and populates that sheet with 50 of those parts. Now this is the lead we selected. Now a parallel lead would be better, and a parallel or tangent, SheetCam calls it tangent, would come in here and out here. So I'm going to show you how to change that. So we're always working off the master part here. Okay, we never change these, we always just change this one, and it ripples that across when we compute the toolpath. Okay, so we're going to drill down here, and if you select the machine setup right here, you'll see we have part 1. So we're going to drill that down again, and then again. And under the outer profile, which is this part, outer profile, we have default change start point. So what we're going to do is edit that. So you see the start point right there. What we're going to do is say modify, and we're going to go ahead and move that to right there. So you need to make sure it's going in the right direction. So the arrow points in the direction the torch is going to travel. So if I did this, that's the wrong direction. I want the good part of the cut on the right hand side of the torch relative to travel. So that's how I want it right there. Then I'm going to come up here to nesting job, and I'm going to say compute all toolpath, and okay, well actually that would work, but I didn't change my lead. So we're going to go back to the edit the nesting job, go to nesting job, edit. We're going to go back to the leads, and we're going to change to a parallel lead, and then compute. And that's what we're after right there. Straight in, straight out, nice and clean. So we have 50 of those nested now. So let's say that I wanted to change the number I want to nest. It's a simple process of just going into the nesting job, hit edit, go to your part parameters, and just change this number from 50 to 100 and say compute. Now we have 100 of them. Okay, now we want to add another part to the job. So we're going to take this part, this U shape, we're going to add it to this job here. So to do that, we go to nesting job, we go to edit, and select geometry again. Okay, this time we're going to select the U shape, hit OK or hit the space bar. See, now we have two parts, part 1 and part 2. Okay, so now we go to the part parameters, select part 2. We're going to enter a quantity of, say, 25 of those. And hit, let's see, we need leads on that too. So we'll go leads. We're going to use a parallel lead on that, but we'll probably have to go ahead and move our start point on that as well, which we will do after we generate this. We're going to use the same tool. We hit compute, and now we have the U shape with the other part all nested nice and neat. So we do need, you can kind of see the lead right there. So we do need to go ahead and move that start point. So just like we did on this one, we're going to drill down and find that default change start point. We're going to say modify. We're going to click right there. Then we come up to the nesting job and compute all toolpath again. And there's our lead, and you can see that the lead's changed over here as well, and everything's nested nice and neat. Okay, so after everything's nested and saved, the next step is to post the job out, create the G code for the machine. So to do that, we go up to nesting job, and we're going to say post or post and save as. I prefer save as because it allows me to name the name the job. So we're going to name this TrueCut Test 3. We hit save, and it generates the code right here in the directory where we saved it. And at this point, we would just go into the machine, load that G code, and run the job. So you notice that in this nest, the two master parts that we're working with, they're not included in the nest. Okay, only what you see here in this outline is included in the nest. In the next video, we'll talk about laying out more custom parts using some of the parameters under advanced posting, and that'll involve controlling the height control, turning the height control on and off for different parts, changing the cut speed for different profiles, and laying out open contours and laying out holes for piercing center marks. So that'll be coming up in the next video.